what did you bring to eat?
So, I just got these. These are reduced sodium MREs.
Oh.
I got this, I can't remember the company. I can send you a link, but it's more of a smaller MRE. It's more stripped down.
Yeah.
And I don't know, they're supposed to be pretty good.
Huh.
So we're going to test it out.
So yeah, I'm having the Bridgeford ready-to-eat sandwiches.
Yeah.
It's the Italian sausage with sauce.
Yeah, those are good.
Extended shelf life, no refrigeration required, 2 individually wrapped sandwiches, great for hunting, camping, hiking, fishing, boating, household emergency kits. So yeah, I had one of these last night and I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
But that's how they...
That's a good no-cook option for
yeah.
sure.
So for you guys who are looking for stuff to put in your ration kits, and I'm sure you guys have seen my, had a video on putting together your own 24-hour ration kits. These would be good to put in there. Best by date is 4/19 of 2026. I don't know if anyone really pays attention to that or not, but that's what you have, and it's each one of these is 330 calories, 29% saturated fat, 30% sodium, so it's high on the sodium side.
Yeah, they always are.
Yeah, they always are. And some people, and you know what? This is a good lesson. I had this happen with my son. We had gone on a backpacking trip, and we had one of the Mountain House freeze-dried spaghettis.
Yep.
He had never had freeze-dried food before. He ended up throwing it up.
Really?
Because it did not agree with him.
Too much sodium,
Too much sodium, yeah.
Really?
So I think that's like, it's good to try these things out ahead of time.
Yeah.
So that you know what your body will digest, what it won't. Maybe something gives you the runs. Wouldn't that suck? To be out in the field and this the first time having this and you get the runs and here it's caused by this. I would rather know ahead of time that something's going to give me the runs.
Right.
So that I don't take that with me.
Yeah.
So that's a good lesson to learn there.
That is. Yeah, you got to know your limits too.
Yes.
Like it irritates my buddy because he's like, you're basically a Billy Goat, Wendell. You can eat anything. And it's like, yeah, I can. It doesn't bother me.
That's funny.
He says, like, you would have done great in the Army. You can eat anything.
Jeez. Right, anything they serve you, Wendell will eat it.
Yeah, I have no problem with it. It's like, whatever.
And then I just like, in my normal, and I'm a light breakfast eater. I'm not a big lunch eater either, so I'll just have some kind peanut butter breakfast bars and some, these, I like these fruit and nut blend mixes.
Oh, yeah.
These are good for just eating on the go. Raisins, cranberries, cashews, almonds, that's a lot of protein right there.
That's good energy food.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in cold weather. I don't know if you guys can see or not, but it's starting to snow a little bit. Very light snow. It's cold. It's anything you can do to, calories is fuel, plain and simple. So yeah, that's how those...
Huh. Wow, that's cool.
Like I said, that's what I had last night, and it was good. And then obviously, we're out on a property patrol. Things like your garbage. These are indicators. You don't want to leave this behind for other people. How many times you guys who are backpackers, campers, hikers, you find trash everywhere.
Yeah.
It's as an outdoors person, it rubs me the wrong way anyways.
Right.
But my goodness, those are that's stuff that we're out looking for to make sure to see if we see any of it.
Yep. So I just I'm doing the MRE. I have trash for opening this package. I just throw it back in my butt pack. I'll clear it out when I get back to camp.
Exactly. And a little hack for you guys, just, trail tips. These, water bottles aren't cheap. Nalgene bottles, GI canteens, what have you. Yep. They're not cheap to have. My kids play sports, and they end up going through quite a bit of Gatorade.
Sure.
So I, every now and then I'll tell my kids, hey, save me a couple of your 1 liter Gatorade bottles, and then literally paint them up, because the last thing you want, this is a pet peeve, with like Nalgene bottles, that blue lid for your Nalgene bottle, right? Boy, does that stand out like a sore thumb at a distance.
Yep.
Same thing with your Gatorade bottles. That orange lid sticks out like a sore thumb. So paint it. Don't be afraid to paint it. Paint it green, black, brown, whatever. It's worth your while to do so. But the nice thing about these is, you know, we all like having nesting cups. This one happens to be from Toaks, one of their titanium cups. They nest right inside of it, like it's purposely designed for it. So that works out really good for that.
That's cool.
So that way you can make sure that you have a nesting cup for when I earlier crossed over a drainage ditch or a creek. And if you're needing to collect water, especially in a cold environment, it's easy to collect with the cup instead of bending down with your water bottle in it.
Yeah.
And it's a good habit to get into. I don't know if any of you guys who follow Ivar Bergman on the Alaska Survival Evasion channel, I'm a believer in this too. Have 2 cups, one that you can use for your gathering dirty water and one for clean water. You know, plus it's one of those 2 is 1, 1 is none philosophy things.
That's a good idea. Yeah, so for my backup, if I'm not using an MRE, if I want to actually make coffee, I always like to have a means of cooking on something, even though it's not always the best thing to do because people, you know, people are going to smell it, see it, whatever. But if I'm in an area where I know I can do it, a little titanium cup, an Espit stove, some Espit tabs. I've got my lighter and my folding spork, and now I can make some coffee. I can heat some water real quick. It's enough to, you know,
absolutely
to cook with.
And one of those fuel tabs will get you a boil with a cup of water, which is really all you need out in the field.
Yep. So, and you know, that's all titanium. The whole setup is titanium. It doesn't weigh anything.
No, not at all. And it's a small package.
Yep. But and I also use canteen cups. I have several titanium canteen cups that I use. So it just depends on what I want to use at that time.
And you're carrying everything in the butt pack on your load-bearing equipment.
Yes. Yeah, so I don't know if I want to talk about this now or not, but so this is my new setup that I'm trying. I did a video earlier this year, I think it was in the summer, where I was experimenting with a traditional Alice LBE. So I had the gun belt and a Molly butt pack and canteens and the whole thing, and I really liked how it felt.
Yeah.
To me, it was comfortable. I didn't, you know, usually with backpacks I always get like some kind of shoulder strain and neck pain. It doesn't matter how comfortable the backpack is, it happens. So I used that LBE system and I loved it. And then I started thinking about it. Well, I want it to be more modernized. It was a bunch of Alice gear. And you get the clips, those dig into you.
Yes, they do. And they come open if you don't tape them up or something.
Right. So I've been following Nixieworks for quite a while on Instagram. And they make this gigantic butt pack. And they also have their own LBE system, but they also sell the butt pack separately so you can create your own system. And when this became, stick in there. When this went on sale, I picked the one up, and then I added it to Molly Battle Belt. I added my own harness. Yep. I was able to add the Molly 2 pouches. These are all issue. And here I have my IFAC. This is basically a blowout kit. And then with these pouches, I can do magazines. I can put a radio in here. Got a tourniquet pouch. And then on the other side, similar setup, but I also have a spot for my knife, my field knife that I use. And, you know, very comfortable carrying this today. I really have enjoyed it.
That's great.
Yeah, it works really well. And that butt pack is able to expand enough that you can do a full night or weekend out with it,
right?
Depending on how pack.
Like this is, you have it cinched down pretty good right now.
I do, and it doesn't have a lot of stuff in it. There's not a lot of layers or extra stuff in it, but if you go to Nixieworks' webpage, he has a blog. Him and his buddies, they'll go out in the mountains like for 2 or 3 days on patrols. Just with this.
That's amazing.
And they camp out of it. They live out of it. And there's no other supporting gear. So it's possible.
And this is something like you don't have to, this doesn't have to be tactical.
No.
Like you could set this up with just, not just a butt pack, but just sustainment pouches.
Sure.
Have your cook kit, first aid, an admin bag for stuff like, headlamps, fire starter, all that kind of stuff. I mean, you could really set that up just for a 2-day backpacking trip.
It'd be a great hunting rig, too.
That's like those old Kafaru hunting rigs.
Yep. Be excellent for that. Let's see if this is actually heating up.
You doing one of those automatic heaters?
Yeah, this is the MRE heater.
That's something I'm going to point out here real quick. Being out here in the wintertime, we're wearing the layers that we're wearing right now. Yeah. Like I just have on a hooded polypro long underwear top and an unlined soft shell, right? So I'm helping with wicking the perspiration off of my body. And then I'm wearing the soft shell to help block the wind and light moisture. But it's also super breathable so that I'm not getting sweaty underneath.
Right.
So this whole time out here, like I have not been sweating. It's been great. It's worked as is. But now that we've been sitting here for, 10 minutes maybe, I'm starting to get chilled. Like that's... So my philosophy on things is when we're... have some sort of, this is one of the 10 essentials, is some sort of a warming layer that you can put on.
Yeah.
So obviously I have a down parka that I have packed with me, but I have it in a dry bag so that I make sure that it doesn't get wet. We've certainly seen enough water today. If you guys haven't seen from some of the videos, it's a very, it's a water-rich environment. There's a lot of standing water, a lot of swampy lands, a lot of marshy lands. So the great thing with this is, literally you stop for a break, you pull your big puffy jacket out, like I call it in my book, just pull your big puffy jacket out and go ahead and pull it over you. You can put it over if you're wearing some sort of a chest rig or like a Hill People gear chest bag or something like that. Just go ahead and put it over the top so that you can trap the body heat that you're losing while sitting here.
Right.
And then when you're ready to go again, you just peel this off, put it in the dry bag, stow it in your... whether it's your butt pack or your day pack, and you're good to go again.
Yeah.
So just a great simple tip that when you're putting your layering system together, you're not wearing this underneath your shell layer. Like you're not going to wear this underneath this or underneath this. You're going to wear, this goes over top of everything. It encompasses the whole deal. So that I highly recommend, whether it's down or synthetic. I know there's arguments. Some people love down, some people love Primaloft or whatever the newest synthetic insulation is. They all do the same thing. That's what they're designed for.
Yep.
So,
I do the same thing. I have a Wooby hoodie.
Oh, I love the Wooby hoodie. Yes.
It compacts down to about this size, so that'll fit my butt pack or any of my backpacks. But that's the layer I sleep in usually, and it's the layer I throw on when I want to stay warm.
Right.
But I don't wear it when I'm out hiking because then I get too hot.
Absolutely, and that's great. Like those Wooby hoodies are great. It's a great way to plus up your sleep system. If you want to go, like if you're using the green GI patrol bag, man, putting that Wooby hoodie on to sleep inside of it, it really helps boost the temperature rating of that bag a lot. It makes a huge difference. So don't be afraid to experiment with stuff like that. This happens to be one of the Eddie Bauer down jackets. If you have a Sam's Club near you, $30 at Sam's Club.
I think I have the same one in like a blue.
Do you really?
Yeah, because they're so cheap. It's like I gotta
get
one.
$30. I know my wife will always say, she's like, you don't need another jacket. But you know what? It's I have a non-hooded one of these.
Right.
And I think it was last year or the year before I saw the hooded ones there at Sam's Club. And I'm like, for $30, hooded is nice.
Oh, yeah.
It really is, especially if you knew you were going to sit here for a while.
Right.
And cozy up in that. Throw the hood up on it. I see you have a sit pad you're using for sitting on.
Always. Always.
And this is part of you know, when you're heading out into the field, crossing your T's, dotting your I's. I was going to bring a different day pack, and I put my sit pad in that day pack. Last minute, I changed my mind on bringing a larger day pack, and I left my sit pad in that smaller day pack at home.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
it's fine. It is what it is, you know.
Right,
But those are little things like, you know, it doesn't matter how seasoned of a person you are. You do forget stuff. It happens. It happens to everybody. It doesn't matter. I was really getting chilled. I'm glad I put the coat on. So that tree line is the property line.
All right.
Or this would be the eastern edge of the property. You see, somebody's doing work over there.
Oh yeah.
See, what is that? A bucket loader.
Yep.
You see to the left the hunting blind. So the property owners over there have a permanent blind set up because they obviously hunt their field there. So that's good information to know. I mean, that's all part of your area survey. Is okay, where's the other homesteads at? What are they doing on their properties? Hopefully you're friendly with them. You should be, right?
Right.
Because in tough times, those are the people that you're going to band together with. Something else is a hint for you guys. Don't be afraid to keep a spare spork or spoon, or these are from the bumblebee tuna.
Yeah.
I save all of these. I do tuna a lot of times for lunch. I eat ramen noodles and I put tuna in it. And I save all these. Like my desk drawer at work is loaded with these. But I put these in all my ration kits.
Yeah.
Even though I keep a spork in my admin bag, I always keep one of these with me. You never know. You never know when that food opportunity comes up. Maybe someone sets up a impromptu field kitchen and they're serving soup or spaghetti or mac and cheese or mashed potatoes. You'd better have a spoon with you. It's wise to do so. Something to keep in mind when it comes to food, when you're eating things like the MREs or the any of the backpacking food, granola bars, energy bars, all that kind of stuff, they can be dry, and you end up you need to drink water to help with digesting it. That way you don't get stopped up after a couple of days. Right. Those are things that you want to make sure you're doing.
And this is more stuff that you cover in your book too, right?
Yes, and this is absolutely. This is all stuff that is covered through there. Yeah. Just as all this, I don't want to say it's nuggets of information, but it's just that base. Once again, it goes back to that baseline. These are just basic outdoor fundamentals that are important, and to get out and practice it, like we are, is great. Everybody should do. Everybody should. I mean, it's another excuse to get out.
Yep.
You don't have to go do a property patrol to do it.
Good enough to eat?
Yeah. Except I'm not a big breakfast. I'm not a big eater. I don't know why.
That's good.
But I like eating dinner.
Good.
I like eating dinner.